The Home Affairs Portfolio Committee is to meet during Parliament's recess time in December to accommodate a key witness in the inquiry who's currently in India, Ashu Chawla. This has emerged during the committee's hearing into the naturalization of the Gupta family, which resumed today. Chawla is the former COO of Sahara Computers, a Gupta-owned company which is now closed. The committee has learned that Chawla is currently in New Delhi but is expected to come to South Africa by the end of November. Well, for more on this story, we cross to our reporter Manelisi Dubase, who's standing by for us in Parliament. Manelisi, what else has emerged from that hearing?
Well, what has emerged are the details about the removal of Mr. Ronald Steyn, who was an immigration officer at our embassy in New Delhi. He was hired there for a period of 4 years, starting from 2014, but he just stayed for 2 years, and he was removed abruptly and placed or redeployed to Munich. It is not clear why he was removed, but after persistent questioning by the members of parliament, it appeared that during his time, or during his short period, he had rejected close to about more or less 200 applications for visas and for short-term work permits to South Africa. And most of those came from the Gupta-led companies such as Sahara Computers and the company called their media company under Infinity Media. That's what it's called. And he was not told why he was removed. He just received a phone call from one of the officials from the Department of Home Affairs to say that he will be moved to Munich in Germany. And the person who replaced him is a gentleman called Mr. Christian, who apparently was a very close associate with the Guptas, who in fact was not even vetted before he was hired in that post. That's the information so far that we received, and that the fact that Mr. Chawla will only appear much later on because he has put some conditions for him to come and appear here. For instance, he wants to be bought a business class ticket from New Delhi, Johannesburg to Cape Town and back, and then he needs a Hindu interpreter. So Parliament doesn't have that amount of money, and they don't know where they will get a Hindu interpreter. So by all means, he might probably appear at the end of November.
And Manelisi, do we know how it came to be that the Guptas were naturalized in the first place?
Well, we still have to know. I think we will get that information when the Minister of Home Affairs appear here sometime later this afternoon. Right now, that element of how they get to be naturalized has not come out, because what they are dealing with now is how the officials of the Department of Home Affairs were shifted around just to make the path clear for the Guptas to be naturalized and to conduct their business, sometimes not in accordance with the laws of South Africa. You know, there's some sort of cutting corners in all these kind of things. But when the minister arrives here, we're expecting between 3 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, I think we'll get a little bit of a glimpse of how the Guptas got naturalized.
So you get a real sense, Manelisi, that the Guptas did get some preferential treatment relative to, say, other companies?
No, absolutely, because if we go by the evidence that we have right now, I mean, the evidence that have been given to this committee are inconsistent. There are others who says that the Guptas applied individually, but there are others who said they applied as a family. Now, we don't know where the truth is, and I think the minister will make us a little bit wiser when he comes here, that those forms that he approved, were they for the Guptas as a family, and for that matter, is there any provisions that you can apply as a family or you need to apply individually? Some of the photos or the exhibit of the naturalization we saw here, you find people where they took photos wearing sunglasses, so you can't even identify who are they. Is it a policy of the Department of Home Affairs? You know, some of those things, there are still some gray areas around there, which the minister, I'm sure, will try to clarify when he comes in later on.
All right, Manelisi, thank you very much for that report. Nzinga?